Hello, my friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
It's great to be back.
So this is just a little update. This is from Dutch Sense, and he caught this apparently straight beam of light coming down, apparently down from the sky, and happening to apparently impact an area where there's a wildfire. Isn't that really just? It's just really interesting, is it not?
It's very interesting considering the information that we've been coming across. Yep.
So this beam just comes on down and you just see, fire go. In the past, I've shared a lot of different declassified documents with patents on so many things from, basically anti-gravity to free energy, and also weather modification and lasers mounted in the sky on satellites. We know that technology is out there. So this, just goes along perfect with the info that we've been getting from the galactics, that what you're seeing out here is a combination of the natural with the unnatural, and with augmentation and making things worse, taking conditions and exacerbating conditions. So, it hit me so long ago when I was like 20 years old. It hit me after studying the Bible so much, that the thing that made perfect sense was ETs.
Yeah.
Extraterrestrials, interdimensionals, higher technology beings. Whenever, the people disobeyed what, quote unquote, God was telling them to do, they got punished. They got punished by exactly what we see, floods, famine, pestilence, one thing after another. And then you could go read the Anunnaki stories, which there are hundreds of thousands of, tablets there, Sumerian tablets, that have been translated by countless different scholars. It just becomes very apparent that this is an ET thing. It's an ET thing. That's what's going on right now. And that's what's been going on for a long time, like we were talking about in yesterday's video. What happened to the Denisovans? What happened to the Neanderthals? What happened to Cro-Magnon? We know modern humans have have DNA from them in us, but we are changed, and perhaps we are changed where we don't have or haven't had the brain power, perhaps even, and psychic intuitive abilities that they had. And when we look at it that way, when we take into account, the Sumerian creation myths, well, the gods say they created us. And of course, these gods are just beings. They're just beings that are out for resources and slaves. And so they didn't really create us, not at all. Source is within us. So in reality, we have as much right to claim our own power, and even more so in many ways, than they do. And this is part of what's been going on. We've been altered, and they've altered us so that then they can say, well, it's our creation, And there's the altering that's going to go on now as well. And, this is another big part of what they're doing. So we have to recognize that these powers that be, they're just finite beings, again. They're not source. They've always pretended to be source, the real God with a big G, but they're not. These are beings that are just playing a role, and they're using us, they're using the planet, and obviously they don't have the best of intentions.
Oh, no. No, the intention is to fulfill their own agenda, and that doesn't include making sure that we're safe and we're fed and taken care of. That's not on their agenda. Their agenda is to take control, and by whatever means that they need to use. And usually they do that through fear, because if you can get people in fear, they start looking around for answers, and then they'll take the first thing that comes up, if it makes some kind of sense to them. Usually that's what humans do. So that's the game.
It is. Yeah, so we have to recognize that, and we have to wake as many people up as we can. Because there is going to be a different humanity. There's two different versions. One version, the version they want, is yet again another modified human that will not have their full abilities and will be basically becoming more of a, well, part of the Borg, assimilated into the matrix that they want. And the other is what's happening naturally with the energies coming from, the cosmos, coming from source through the sun and through other means. These cosmic rays that are coming in and awakening our DNA, undoing what they have done to us in limiting us. Well, we're coming into our own. We're coming into our full powers. We will be a changed humanity. We'll be more intuitive. We'll be able to just see through everything. And so many people are already awakened. It's all about Kundalini. It's all about developing the Merkaba. It's all about the light body. And that is the key. It's all there in the mystery schools. It's all there for everybody to see. It starts with activating all the chakras, activating the pineal gland, and then building the light body. So when we do that, then they will not be able to control us anymore. And so they're doing everything they can to modify our DNA and to, again, bring us back into that place where we are going to be able to be controlled as their quote-unquote slave, their labor force.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty nasty thing that they're doing, and people like to look to our leaders to have inspiration and hope. We want to feel that we can trust them, believe in them, that they're going to take care of us, but it's only going to be the way they want to control it. It's all about control. It has nothing to do with the heart, nothing at all.
So recognize that, and the leadership that is going to help us get to where we need to be is leaders that we don't have right now. You're not going to get it with the ones that are in power right now. These are all people playing a role and dividing, for instance, this nation, weakening it to the point where it'll be in civil war and then become invaded. So recognize that. Don't look to any of them for salvation. It's up to us to band together and to change the system and bring about true new leadership in a much fairer way that is truly controlled by the people and not by the elite. So guys, thank you for your support on Ko-Fi and Patreon. Reach out to us if anybody needs to set up an appointment at evolutionaryenergyarts@gmail.com or EEARTS@protonmail.com. As always, God bless and namaste.
Namaste.